I hear you guys. You want all the deets about macros. Let's get into it.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole if you are new. Thanks so much for clicking on today's video. So today's video is all about macros 101, if you will. It's probably the most requested thing to just sit down and talk about. Macros and protein are the main questions I get all the time here on YouTube and on Instagram. So I'm gonna dive in, tell you all the basics, the 101s you need to know about macros, and the little tips and tricks and what works best for me and what has worked best for me in my particular journey. So the first thing before we talk about all details about macros, when you are tracking macros, you need to be sure that you are most accurate with your food. And what do I mean by that? You need to have a food scale. You can buy one on Amazon. I will link the one that I use down below. It is chargeable in the wall. You don't have to put batteries in it. It's awesome. The battery lasts a long time, so I highly recommend that one. But that's gonna get you the best results if you are weighing and tracking your food. Yes, when we are using those trackers to track our macros, we can just generically put in a medium banana and things like that. And you can do that if you're on the go and you don't have a food scale at your fingertips. But if you're at home cooking dinner, cooking lunch, breakfast, all the things, you can pull out that food scale, measure everything, be the most accurate that you can, and let you know what's actually going in your body each and every day. The main thing I see that people make a mistake with tracking macros is they think they are eating less than they are, or if they are in a phase where they actually need to be eating in a maintenance or a surplus stage, they think they are eating more than they are because they're not tracking and not being accurate with their food. So the first thing you need to do before we dive into anything else, buy a food scale, start weighing everything out and tracking it. So don't trust your macro calculators I just mentioned as far as setting up your initial macros to see how many calories you're supposed to be eating each and every day. The macro calculators, in my opinion, they are not accurate with the activity level, with your age, your height and stuff, and it spits out a number to you as far as your calories and what lifestyle you're doing. And I have found that with the activity level plugged in to the actual calories, it does not always match up. So my suggestion to you is if you are not sure how to create your own custom macros, which you can customize them in these apps besides just the generated ones, is to find someone that can create custom macros for you. I myself am a certified health coach. I will be more than happy to do that. I have my information linked down below where I can create a custom macro profile for you, and that way it's the most accurate that you can be when tracking your macros. There's plenty other people out there as well, but just throwing it out there that I do create them if you're not sure how to create them customizable to yourself. When tracking your macros, I suggest for everyone, no matter what lifestyle, is to prioritize your protein and your calories. So the main thing I see people get hung up on when they are tracking their macros is they're trying to be perfect, number one, and they're trying to hit each macronutrient perfectly, and you don't have to do that. If you are striving to get a check mark, what those apps will do, give you a check mark when you're close to your protein goal and your calories. If those two have a check mark next to it, then you are winning. Don't worry about the carbs and the fats, just let them lie wherever they are. You do not have to hit those macronutrients perfectly, but the protein and the calories, yes. You wanna make sure that you're getting enough protein to build muscle, sustain muscle wherever you are in your journey. And you want to eat enough calories because we do not want to fry our metabolism. We don't want to deny our metabolism. We want it to stay rev. We want to be able to burn fat while fueling our body eating food and not being in a starvation mode. So you definitely want to eat your calories to whatever you are set. Don't think that, oh, I'm set to 1,900 calories. I'm gonna eat 1,700 calories this week each day because that's going to be better for me, right? Not necessarily. You could be causing more damage than good with your metabolism by doing that. So whatever your coach or person that created your macros said to eat, you wanna strive to get within 50 calories below or 50 calories above that set calorie number. I get a lot of questions about how do I track my food? I'm a weirdo. I'm gonna say this first off. I love tracking. I know a lot of people tracking is not for them, and tracking may never be for you. It may just be something that you have to do to be the most accurate while you're in a cutting phase. And then when you get to maintenance, you may want to take a break from tracking. It's not for everyone, but I will say that if you want the best results, it's definitely crucial to do it. I enjoy tracking. I like it. I get a lot of questions. Why am I tracking in a maintenance phase? Because I want to be the most accurate in maintenance too for my goals as far as building muscle, but I also like it. I know I'm weird. I track my stuff a week to 2 weeks before. You heard me right. And I feel that I suggest to you guys to track at least a week before. That way you're not stressing about it. That's what I see most people do, is stress about tracking. They're tracking the day of. They don't know what they're supposed to eat. They're not hitting their protein and their calorie numbers, and they're stressed the F out. If you have everything plugged in, and I call it macro Tetris. So everything's plugged in, the calories are check marked, the protein's check marked. If you have that for Monday through Sunday ahead of time, it's done. There is no guessing game. You can make your grocery list based off of your macro calculator. You know exactly what you're gonna be eating and meal prepping for that week. It makes your life so much easier. Can you change that? Yes, absolutely. There's plenty of times where I don't feel like eating that particular snack or dessert, and I will change it and I will correlate it to still hit my calories and my protein. It's not set in stone, but it's a great guide to have ahead of time to where you have no guessing game and you're not stressed out. And like I said, it definitely helps save money when you are making your grocery list, because I make things in my Walmart grocery online app. I add them based off of looking at my tracker on what ingredients I need for a custom recipe or particular things I'm eating for snack and for dessert, breakfast, and I add them in my online cart as I have already made my weekly meal plan. So it definitely helps to stay organized ahead of time like that. Does it take time to do it a week in advance? YES. I mean, everything takes time, right? There is no quick fix with anything when you're on a health journey. What do I do to track ahead for a week? A lot of times it's on a Friday or Saturday night when we're all sitting on the couch watching a movie, all the boys and I will just sit there on my phone and I will start copying from last week as far as snacks, because I usually keep things simple and redundant. That way I'm not stressing out and reinventing the wheel, and go ahead and copy and paste that to next week. Any recipes that I want to try that I don't have in my tracker yet, I will go ahead and look on hand what I have, see if I have those ingredients, go ahead and make a custom recipe, add things to my grocery cart, do it all at the same time. It does take time, but I'm already sitting there watching TV with the boys anyway, so I might as well utilize that time for something productive while I'm spending time with the family. So it's not like I'm taking time away. We're all just sitting here anyway. So that's usually the time that I do it, is on Fridays and Saturday nights, and get it prepped for the week before and before I pick up my groceries. One thing I see people do is they try to make the custom recipes for breakfast, lunch, dinner every single week. Keep it simple. If I could go back in the beginning when I first started tracking, when I was doing keto, I would keep it simple and not have all the custom things until I got used to tracking, until I had a more lenient schedule, whatever. But keep it basic, keep it simple, keep things on repeat. If you don't mind eating the same exact thing for breakfast and lunch week to week, copy and paste that. It's already in your tracker. It's already done, and it takes 2 seconds if you don't mind doing that. I know some of you guys like a variety, and then you would have to create those custom recipes and take the time to do that. But once you create the custom recipes in your tracker as well, it's there. And a lot of time I'll go to my recipes that I've created and scroll through them and see what we haven't had in a while, and I'll put that on plan because I know it's already plugged in there. It's already done. So again, don't reinvent the wheel. Keep it basic, keep it simple towards your individual goals. Trackers that I suggest to use, I get this question all the time, which one do I use? I use the Phorm app, which I cannot recommend enough. Yes, everybody's like, well, it costs money versus some of the other ones. It does, but you get way more perks, bells and whistles with Phorm than you do with the free ones. And I feel like they really aren't charging enough with First Phorm for what you get. So when you pay for First Phorm, and I do have a link down below, I think it gets you guys a discount or something if you use it, so check that out. But when you sign up for First Phorm, you are assigned a coach. Yes, you're assigned a coach that can create those custom macros I was just talking about for you. They have check-ins more than once a week, Zooms you can do with them to check in on your progress. For the amount, guys, it's unheard of, okay? So you are getting way more with that money than you are with the free apps. Some free apps that you can try are Carb Manager, especially if you are low carb or keto. That's one that I used for a long time before I switched over to the anabolic way of eating. It is free. There is a paid version. I wouldn't pay for it. You don't need it. And then also MyFitnessPal is a common one. It is one that costs money as well. If you're gonna pay for MyFitnessPal or First Phorm, First Phorm's definitely worth the money more than MyFitnessPal in my opinion. Some things to make your life easy with tracking as far as recipes. I have tons of high protein meal prep videos here. Also low carb cut. The beginning, I have stuff typed out in free Google Docs. I'll try to link all that down below for you guys to get you guys started if you are doing this high protein, low calorie way of eating. Also, Elise Ellis, you hear me talk about her all the time in my weekly vlogs and in my grocery hauls. She has macro friendly recipes that are prioritizing in protein but also low calorie, but keep it close to the original as far as taste goes. The ingredients are minimal, easy access stuff to find in the grocery store. And if you use my code NBURGGESS down below, you'll have access to over 600 recipes through her meal plan app for under $10 a month. You can also print out PDFs. Each month she will release new recipes that you can print out if you don't want to do the app, but the app is very user-friendly to search, and you can just search in ground beef and all the recipes for ground beef or chicken or whatever will come up, and you can make your meal plan according to that. So we love it. It's definitely family friendly as well. If you're wanting to implement these dinners with your family but not feel like they're dieting, it's definitely a go-to for us and my family. So I have all that linked down below for you as well. So that in a nutshell is the basics of tracking. It does take time, like I mentioned, but there's plenty of time, guys, that you guys waste all the time scrolling through TikToks, watching YouTube videos, going on Instagram, and that 30 minutes to an hour that add up that you are scrolling through social media, you could spend by tracking and having everything laid out a week ahead of time and take the guessing game and the stress out of it and know that you are working best for your overall health and your goals. So I can't recommend it enough. Everything that I mentioned is down below linked for you guys. I would love to do your custom macros, so definitely check my website out and shoot me an email if you have questions, a DM over on Instagram, all the things. I hope this video was helpful in tracking macros 101. I get questions about it all the time. I tried to go over all the things I thought in my head that would help you guys, so I hope it was helpful. If you are new, I'd love to have you a part of the family, so make sure to hit all the bells and whistles before you leave. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope y'all have an awesome day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.